In the previous lesson, we saw how we can do photo montage in NATRON. And similarly, we can do video montages. Depends on the sources. If we have sequences of images, it's going to be okay. Otherwise, we need to do keying and rotoscoping in videos, but we're going to talk about that later on. What I want to do is keep it simple, again, for these first lessons. And here, we also saw how we can um, see which things we can run through a viewer and see like the original image and then the results. And I'm going to show you also something similar in this new lesson, which will be lesson number 6. And before we actually start, I want to show you some useful resources that you can find on the web. So if you search for Natron samples or like Natron examples, maybe, let's try also with this. Okay, these are like more videos about Natron, like tutorials. Now, all we want to do is type samples. And if we go in SourceForge net on the top here on the first result, here we can find some samples that we can use. And these are really helpful because they can show you how like a really professional job is done. So with compositing and in using resources and then nodes and how you can manage and group and everything. So I'm going to use this spaceship file. I'm going to download it first and then I'll create a folder and then extract the file in that folder once, of course, it's downloaded. And I can proceed also with the others. So I'm just going to save the 3 examples here and we're going to see them in the course. Just quickly, just have a look. So I'm gonna start here by in this folder by extracting the spaceship, and we're gonna have a look at that. So I'm gonna extract it, and there you go. It's gonna take a while, so let's just wait. Once it's finished, we have a folder here, and we have a folder for Mac files, and then the spaceship project, and here we can see the final video, the final result, which looks amazing, really cool. It's kind of a spaceship moving and on a like a background. And if I go in the properties, I can see this. This is an MP4, and in the details, this will show me the duration and the resolution and the bit rate and the frame rate, so 25 frames per second. Now this is the final result, but if I go in the Natron project, this is where I can find the Natron file and the sources, because this is an assembly of different sequences of like a background and then like the smoke layer and then the spaceship layer. So everything is layered. Everything is divided into different channels, so we can manage everything non-destructively in Natron. And also in Nuke, it works basically in the same way and also similar software. So creating layers is important. Creating like separating the different parts of a composition is important because then we can manage them separately and we can go back and forward. We can do color correction. We can do adjustments and alteration or whatever. So we can work with each single one of these different parts. So for example, if we go in the spaceship, this is the diffuse channel of the spaceship, which probably is generated by a 3D software like Blender or Cinema 4D or 3ds Max. And it's just a sequence you can see of a spaceship moving without any other effects. All the other effects have been added in Natron. So working with image sequences is suggested in Natron. So if you need to choose, it's better to use image sequences rather than videos. The videos are better when they are exported from Natron, or you can also export again images, a sequence of images. Now this is another part, which is kind of the smoke coming from the engines of the spaceship, and this is the background right here, which probably is a real image of an existing place on Earth, maybe. And we can see there is no sky, so I can create the sky in a video montage inside Natron in the compositing phase. So let's double click and let's see what this file is about. So if I double click, it's going to open up the template or the sample. I'm just going to skip this error log. And we can see there is a timeline there, and it goes really, really slow. You can see the rendering of the preview, the green line is going really, really slow, which means that we have a lot of effects that we need to render. So if I press the spacebar, go in expanded view mode, and I can see better. And I can press play. You can see it's going like frame by frame, slowly, nice and slowly, because it has to render a lot of different channels, a lot of different layers that are stacked one on top of the other. The more nodes you use, the more time you will need to wait before it renders out either the preview and the final write. Now you can see that here everything is nice and organized, everything is grouped into groups of nodes, and everything is named, so every group is named, and everything then goes down to the final write, which is that one, and is also the thing we are seeing in the viewer 2 in this case, so it's the final viewer. So look how many nodes are in here. You have merge nodes, you have grading, color correction, rotoscoping. Basically, I think anything you can do in Natron is here. So it's a perfect example of what you can do at an advanced level, at a professional level. And hopefully at the end of the course, you can do something like this. So we're gonna go and like analyze, we're gonna go analytically analyze all the different types of nodes, and we're gonna try, to make it as simple as we can. So this one here, for example, this is source. That's the read for the background sequence. So yeah, and we can see the group is also named background. So let's do this again. I'm gonna read again and press R to read. I'm gonna go in the folder where I saved this. So samples and spaceship, and in the Natron project, in the sources folder, and I need to find, oh, it was, there we go, at the top, the ground folder. So this is where it's getting that ground sequence. And you can see it's composed of like 100 images. So if I don't want to bring just one file, I need to switch here from file to sequence. So I can import the entire sequence as it is, and it's going to show up like a single file and not like separated images. And there you go. So this is the first step we did also in other videos. And then there is like a series of color correction nodes in there. So let's start simple. Let's like type here, let's create a viewer. So now we can see the original way here without any color correction or any color alteration. And in the viewer 2, we can see the final results. With you can see that it's like desaturated, and then we have like colors that have been added. So there is a lot of work, and you can see there are some color correction, color alteration nodes. So this is the last thing we're gonna see here, the viewer. That's the final result, but we can add also other viewers to see what's happening there before all those nodes appear. We can do some comparisons using the wipe, as we saw also previously, and that's it. So we're gonna see these other examples later on. This is just to show you that you can come in here and just experiment with this. Now also one thing I want to show you that I didn't talk about is this frame range here. When you read in the read properties, you can set up an in point and an out point for your sequence. So you don't need to use the whole sequence. You can also use less, and you can decide what you want to do before and after the first frame and the last frame. So in this case, the default is hold. So it means that the last frame is going to hold until the end of the composition. If you do black, you can see here that once it reaches the last frame, it's going to be black, and until it reaches the first frame, it's going to be black. Or you can change this. You can make this a loop, so it's going to restart when it touches the first frame, or the last frame is going to restart. Or you can do bounce, which is going to go like backward. So it's kind of the inverts time, inverting the time, inverting the footage. Or you can do, what